Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, Russia says 20 dead after Ukrainian strikes on the Russian provincial capital of Belgorod. Russia vows response. UN Security Council addresses civilian toll from Ukrainian and Russian strikes. The Indian Space Research Organization ISRO set to launch ExpoSat and 10 other payloads on January 1st. 25 hours countdown for PSLV ExpoSat New Year Day mission to commence from 8:10 a.m. today. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in the last Mann Ki Baat edition of 2023 at 11 a.m. today. It will be the 108th episode of the monthly radio program. Indian women's team fall narrowly short in close encounter despite valiant efforts from Richa Ghosh as Australian women register thrilling 3-run win in the second ODI to seal the series 2-0. Russia has accused Ukraine of deadly airstrikes on the Russian provincial capital of Belgorod on Saturday. Russia said 20 people, including 2 children, had been killed and 111 were injured in indiscriminate strikes and vowed to retaliate. Taking to his social media post, regional governor urged all the residents to move to air raid shelters as sirens sounded around the city. The Belgorod region had suffered shelling and drone attacks last year that authorities have blamed on Ukraine. An urgent meeting of the UN Security Council in New York was held on Saturday at Russia's request. The number of people killed after a wave of airstrikes across the Ukrainian territory has increased to 26. More than 120 others were injured, according to local authorities. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky accused Russia of launching 110 missiles using what he said was nearly every weapon in Moscow's arsenal. Dasha Chernysheва has more from Moscow.
Russian Ministry of Defense says Russian troops carried out more than 50 strikes and one massive strike with high-precision weapons and drones on military facilities of the Ukrainian armed forces. According to the ministry, over the past week, Moscow hit airfields, storage areas including artillery, ammunition, unmanned boats, weapons and fuel for military equipment. It says it also hit deployment positions of the Ukrainian military and foreign mercenaries. Moscow says it seeks to accomplish the goals of its so-called special military operation in Ukraine and destroys Ukrainian military infrastructure. At the same time, Russian Ministry of Defense said that Ukraine fired 3 HARM anti-radar missiles produced in the United States against the border region of Belgorod. They were intercepted by the Russian air defense systems. And the head of the Belgorod region accused Ukraine of firing more than 60 munitions at populated areas of the region over the past 24 hours. In the meantime, Russian ambassador to the United States, Anatoly Antonov, said that new arms supplies to Ukraine cannot change the situation on the ground. He said the US should not seek to inflict a strategic defeat on Russia, as all NATO equipment and ammunition are going to be burned and destroyed. Dasha Chernysheва in Moscow, reporting for DD India.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, during his evening address, said that more than 120 settlements had been affected in the strikes and also that they are preparing to produce more weapons next year. The UN Security Council addressed civilian toll from Ukrainian and Russian strikes. During the meeting, Assistant Secretary General Khaled Khiari said that attacks on Belgorod city center reportedly resulted in damage to civilian infrastructure, including the regional government office and the Medical College of Belgrade State University. At the same time, he said that Ukrainian authorities reported new overnight Russian drone attacks targeting the Kherson region. Turning focus to Israel-Hamas conflict. Now, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Saturday that the border zone between Gaza and Egypt should be under Israel's control, as he predicted the conflict in the Palestinian enclave and on other regional fronts would last many more months. 3 Washington police officers have been found not guilty in the 2020 killing of Manuel Elise, a 33-year-old black man. Officers were found not guilty of murder and manslaughter charges following a trial that lasted more than 2 months. Defense lawyers for the officers said that the police stopped Elise because he was approaching a car turning at an intersection. The prosecution witnesses testified that the officers were the aggressors and attacked Elise unprovokedly while he was standing on the sidewalk and that they did not see Elise fighting back. Elise's killing occurred weeks before George Floyd's murder at the hands of Minneapolis. Police set off months of protests around the world over racial injustice and police brutality. Also, Spain rescued dozens of stranded migrants off Canary Islands and took them to Arguineguín port in the Gran Canaria island. A group of 57 men received medical attention and red blankets at the port. More than 37,000 migrants have reached the Canary Islands from West Africa on fragile boats by December 15th. Red Cross said on Saturday almost 40,000 migrants reached the Spanish islands in 2023. The archipelago, which lies around 60 miles off Africa's west coast, had its previous peak in 2006 when 31,678 migrants arrived as other routes to Europe were blocked off. A number of African countries were hit by protests during the year as people voiced concerns over the high cost of living and economic challenges. Tunisians joined their counterparts from Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa and Sudan in demanding their governments do more to address their economic hardships. Inflation was attributed in part to the conflict in Ukraine, the impact of COVID pandemic, higher global energy prices and currencies which weakened by double digits. As a rising cost of living pushed households and businesses to the edge, Tunisia was one of the countries rocked by protests. In a bid to control inflation, Tunisia's central bank kept its key interest rate unchanged at 8%. Analysts, however, warn that the cost of living could rise even further next year. Travelers heading to London were stranded in London and Paris after flooding in railway tunnel near the British capital. Flooding in the railway tunnel near London forced the cancellation of more than a dozen trains linking Britain with the European main island, disrupting New Year travel for thousands of passengers. The cancellations, which so far concern at least 14 trips between London and Paris, Amsterdam or Brussels, are the second blow for Eurostar customers during this year's holiday season. It was not immediately clear what had caused the flooding in the railway tunnels under the River Thames near Ebbsfleet, east of London. Thousands gathered in central Belgrade in the biggest protest yet over the results of parliamentary and municipal elections on December 17th. Supporters of Serbia's opposition gathered for a protest demanding elections earlier this month be annulled and new ones be held due to their allegations the ruling party won by fraud. One of the leaders of the opposition, Marinika Tepic, addressed the crowd saying the election should be annulled before the protest began marching through the capital. Serbia Against Violence, which is placed second in the general election, has accused the ruling Serbian Progressive Party of widespread vote fraud, which the authorities deny. Full results of the elections are not likely to be published until sometime next month. Pakistan's election body has rejected former Prime Minister Imran Khan's nomination to contest the 2024 national elections. The Election Commission of Pakistan said so on Saturday. Saturday also marked the last day for the scrutiny of nomination papers filed by candidates for the general elections 2024. Appeals against the acceptance or rejection of nomination papers can be submitted until January 3rd, and decisions on these appeals will be made by January 10th. The list of candidates will be displayed on 11th of January, and candidates will have the option to withdraw by January 12th. A quick look at other stories making it to the headlines from across the world. Oscar-nominated British actor Tom Wilkinson died in London on Saturday, aged 75. In a brief statement, his agent said the actor had died suddenly at home, adding that his wife and children were with him. The actor appeared in several films such as Michael Clayton, Selma and the Best Exotic Marigold Hotel. After the announcement of ban oysters from Normandy and the Arcachon Basin due to a norovirus scare on Saturday, sellers are facing cautious customers. Oysters are prohibited from being sold for 28 days, while nearly half of the oysters produced in France each year are consumed between Christmas and New Year's Day. The Times Square New Year's Eve ball was tested on Saturday before the famous countdown to welcome 2024. The New Year's Eve ball, covered in crystal triangles, is 12 feet in diameter and weighs 11,875 pounds. The event will feature live performances by Florida, Paul Anka, Megan Thee Stallion, LL Cool J, among others.
Happy New Year!
Brazil's city, Rio de Janeiro, is ready for a fireworks display, which will be the centerpiece of one of the world's biggest New Year's Eve parties to welcome the year 2024. Some 2 million people are expected to gather on the Copacabana beach on December 31st. We're heading for a short break, but still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Ayodhya gets revamped ahead of consecration of Ram Temple next month. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates Ayodhya Airport and Ayodhya Railway Station. Residents in Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh brace up for chilly weather as dense fog blanket predicted in the coming days. Cristiano Ronaldo scores his 54th goal of the calendar year as Al Nassr thrashes Al Tawoun 4-1 in Saudi Pro League.
India has gone through a paradigm shift in 2023. Large-scale projects have changed its infrastructural landscape. A network of zipping trains connect remote regions. Architects and engineers have built mammoth structures. Swanky, gleaming airports dot the nation. Waterways connect towns and ports, boosting business. Multimodal projects and SEZs bolster the economy, giving a tangible shape to the country's aspirations of becoming a global economic hub. Watch an exclusive roundup New India's infrastructure push in 2023 only on DD India.
As we ready to ring in the new year, 2023 will go down in history as having signaled to the world a more confident, a more assertive India that seeks to leverage its growing clout to push for a more inclusive, a more even world order. We take a look at India's journey in 2023 as it took center stage on the global rostrum.
Watch India at the global center stage at these times, only on DD India.
Welcome to Lakshadweep, the land of 100,000 islands, the aquatic wonderland of India. An archipelago of spectacular marine gems, colorful coral and crystal clear lagoons. A kaleidoscope of turquoise blue. Each island of Lakshadweep draws in explorers with its unique beauty. Witness idyllic sunsets and pristine beaches of Kavarati. The majestic lighthouse and colorful boat races at Minikoi. Experience water sports in the shallow lagoons of Kadmat. Unwind in the serene setting of Bangaram. Lakshadweep offers a precious heritage of ecology and culture. with rhythmic beats of folk dances echoing through these islands, delighting visitors in traditional folk dances and local artworks with abundant marine life and mineral resources. The islands are advancing towards a greener, brighter future. Lakshadweep is set to amaze visitors with its breathtaking wonders and picturesque seascapes in the enduring spirit of incredible India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live and I'm Preeti. Let's get you more updates. The Indian Space Research Organization ISRO is set to launch another PSLV or Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. C-58 ExpoSat mission is scheduled to be launched from the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota on 1st January, that is tomorrow. The PSLV will launch ExpoSat satellite and 10 more payloads. ISRO says this will be India's first dedicated polarimetry mission to study the dynamics of bright astronomical X-ray sources in extreme conditions. 25 hours countdown will begin from 8:10 a.m. today. A dense fog will blanket many parts of India in the coming days. Very dense fog conditions will prevail in parts of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh from 30th December to 4th January. Red alert is again issued for Delhi, Haryana, Chandigarh and Punjab. Also, dense fog conditions are very likely to prevail for few hours in states of Odisha, Bihar, Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura from 31st December to 2nd January. DD India correspondent Akshay Dongre joins us with more. Akshay, good morning. We've just told our viewers about the thick, foggy conditions that will be faced by citizens in some states. You were here in Delhi. Let us get a sense of how is the morning outside today.
A very good morning to you too, Preeti, and to all of our viewers who are watching DD India this morning. However, as far as the situation is concerned in the national capital, a red alert has again been issued by the Indian Meteorological Department. From where I'm standing right now, I can show you the conditions. The skies as of now are a bit foggy, but the visibility is much better from what it was 2 days back ago. There was some wind movement which took some fog away with it. However, the situation may not be like this starting today evening, as a red alert has been issued by IMD not just for Delhi but for adjoining areas and adjoining states as well, including Haryana, western parts of Uttar Pradesh, Chandigarh, and a thick layer of fog is likely to blanket the national capital once again. And that may become a problem for many people as far as the New York celebrations are concerned, because we have seen earlier as well that because of foggy conditions, the flights have gotten hit. There have been trains that were running late. Traffic has slowed down on highways many a times when these kind of situations prevail in New Delhi and in adjoining areas, because the visibility gets to a very minimum. However, as of now, early this morning, the visibility is relatively clearer. But it will not be the situation if we go according to the prediction that has been made by the IMD starting today evening. So people will have to be a bit cautious about the fact that if they have to set out, if they have to go out, then they should be prepared. If they have to reach to distant places, as far as highways are concerned, then they should leave well in time and should keep the weather conditions in check, and should in fact consider checking the latest advisories by the weather department as well, Preeti.
All right, Akshay, also a quick word on the days ahead, because we tell our viewers that the IMD has predicted dense fog till 4th of January in some places and 2nd of January in some other places. Let us get more from you as to how long do we expect this to continue, and will there be a respite in say near future?
Well, as far as the IMD advisory is concerned and the prediction is concerned, the situation is likely to remain the same till at least 4th of January. However, from what IMD is predicting is a certain wind movement that is likely to take place after 4th of January that may take some smog away. and that can become a respite. However, from what we have seen earlier as well, as far as the month of January is concerned, similar kind of situations prevail in the northern part of India. So not much is likely to change for the next 10 to 15 days. The wind conditions will not change much, which can be a problem, especially as far as pollution is concerned in the northern part of India. However, from the second half of the month of January, some better weather conditions can be predicted. However, for these 10 to 15 days, people will have to be cautious, and they will have to take all the measures as far as these difficult weather conditions are concerned.
All right, Akshay, we'll leave it here. Thank you for joining in with those details. And amid the excitement to bid goodbye to the year 2023 on Sunday, India's national capital, New Delhi's police has issued an advisory to ease overcrowding on the New Year's Eve. According to the advisory issued, exits from Rajiv Chowk metro station will not be allowed from 9 p.m. onwards on 31st December. Entry of passengers will be allowed till the departure of last train from Rajiv Chowk metro. Commuters are requested to plan their journey accordingly. Also, metro services on the rest of the metro networks will continue to remain available as per the regular timetable. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in the monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat at 11 a.m. today. It will be the 108th episode of the monthly radio program and also the last episode of the year 2023. The program will be live streamed on the entire network of Doordarshan. It will also be live streamed on the YouTube channels of DD India, All India Radio and Information and Broadcasting Ministry. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the newly built Ayodhya airport on Saturday. Besides the airport, Prime Minister also inaugurated the redeveloped Ayodhya railway station and several other development projects. Here's a report on this.
Saturday was a big day for the North Indian city of Ayodhya, the land of Lord Ram. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi landed in the holy city and dedicated development projects worth billions of dollars to the nation. On arrival, Prime Minister Modi received a grand welcome in Ayodhya. He held a mega roadshow and people showered flower petals on his cavalcade. Prime Minister Modi inaugurated the newly built Maharishi Valmiki International Airport in Ayodhya. The airport is equipped to serve about 1 million passengers annually. The interiors of the terminal building are decorated with local art, paintings and murals depicting the life of Lord Ram. The facade of the terminal building depicts the architecture of the upcoming Ram temple in the city. The airport is named after Maharishi Valmiki, who wrote the epic Ramayana. The government of India says the airport will not just improve connectivity to the region, but also boost tourism, business activities and employment opportunities. Ayodhya also got its railway station revamped with modern facilities. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the redeveloped Ayodhya railway station, renamed as Ayodhya Dham Junction in the temple town. The 3-story modern railway station building is equipped with all modern facilities like lifts, escalators, food plazas, cloakrooms, childcare rooms and waiting halls. Prime Minister Modi also flagged off 8 new trains on this occasion. These include 2 new Amrit Bharat trains and 6 new Vande Bharat trains. Before flagging off, Prime Minister Modi interacted with students on board the Amrit Bharat train in Ayodhya. He also interacted with passengers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also addressed a public meeting in Ayodhya. He called for reviving the ancient glory of Ayodhya with a touch of modernity.
आज के भारत का मिजाज यहाँ अयोध्या में स्पष्ट दिखता है। आज यहाँ प्रगति का उत्सव है, तो कुछ दिन बाद यहाँ परंपरा का उत्सव भी होगा। आज यहां विकास की भव्यता दिख रही है, तो कुछ दिनों बाद यहां विरासत की भव्यता और दिव्यता दिखने वाली है। यही तो भारत है, विकास और विरासत की यही साझा ताकत भारत को 21वीं सदी में सबसे आगे ले जाएगी।
Prime Minister's one-day tour to Ayodhya gave this city an invaluable gift of many connectivity infrastructure projects. These projects will help people and pilgrims come to Ayodhya rather easily and make their journey comfortable. But what he said later on was equally important. Prime Minister gave a clarion call to the people of Ayodhya to maintain cleanliness so that the pilgrims who come here will have a memorable and unforgettable stay.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to the city comes weeks before the consecration ceremony of the Ram Temple on January 22. With Ravi Dhiman's input from Ayodhya, Abhishek Bose for DD India.
The Viksit Bharat Sankalp Yatra program organized by the Government of India is continuing in the city of Anantapur in the southern Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. It aims to provide central government schemes to everyone in the country, and on this occasion, the locals were informed about the various schemes and their application process via short films. After taking the oath of the program, the calendar related to the program was unveiled. The beneficiaries of various schemes also shared their experiences under Meri Kahani, Meri Zubani. In sports, Australia egged out a 3-run win over India in the second women's ODI to take an unassailable 2-0 lead in the 3-match series in Mumbai on Saturday. Opting to bat, the tourists rallied to post 258 for 8 on the back of opener Phoebe Litchfield's 63 and Elise Perry's 50 despite Deepti Sharma's 5-wicket haul. In reply, Richa Ghosh scored a valiant 96, but the Australians tightened the screws to limit India to 255 for 8. Annabelle Sutherland snared 3 wickets for Australia. Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 54th goal of the calendar year as Al Nassr came from behind to beat Al Ta'awoon 4-1 in the Saudi Pro League on Saturday. Ronaldo finished 2023 as the world's top goal scorer for the calendar year, 2 goals ahead of Bayern Munich's Harry Kane and Paris Saint-Germain's Kylian Mbappe. Ronaldo's goal came in the second minute of added time to cap a comeback victory for the second-placed Al Nassr, with the other goals coming from Marcelo Brozovic, Aymeric Laporte and Otavio, after Al Ta'awoon had taken an early lead through a penalty rebound from Ashraf Al Mahdi. Also, Al Nassr closed the gap to 7 points behind unbeaten leaders Al Hilal at the top of the Saudi Pro League. All right, that's it in this edition of DD India Live. But let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X and also Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.